In this video, we will be discussing how the brain learns in patterns. Our brain is a pattern-seeking device, and learning to recognize common patterns and organize information into patterns is a key to optimal learning. The brain learns by connecting new information to prior knowledge. This prior knowledge or memory exists in the form of patterns. When new information is learned, the brain seeks to connect this new information to the most similar information stored in your memory, i.e., the brain looks for familiar patterns in this new information. We sometimes encounter information that does not fit any of our patterns, and thus our brain must create a new pattern for the new memories. There is a potential trap here. Because the brain seeks to fit new information into familiar patterns, sometimes we try to fit new information into inappropriate but familiar patterns. It is important when learning new information to fit that information into the appropriate pattern. A good teacher or tutor recognizes this and will help you to see the patterns both familiar and novel. Which of the following is easier to remember? This long string of numbers, or this string of numbers? You likely found the second series of numbers easier to remember because it is in the form of a phone number, a familiar pattern. Taking information and putting it into familiar patterns makes it easier to remember. The most common patterns all work the same way in that the brain seeks to recognize the pattern and then connect similar information to it. Here are four of the most common patterns: similarity and difference, comparison and contrast, cause and effect, in your own words. You should already be familiar with these patterns as they are very common in the education system. Clustering is a type of patterning used to organize related information into groups. See the image on the right side of your screen. This visual representation of a cognitive map illustrates clustering. Information that is categorized becomes easier to remember and recall. Here is an example of how to use clustering to help recall. Take a look at the long list of foods on the left side of your screen. Pause the video and attempt to memorize them. A difficult task. Organizing the foods by clustering will significantly aid your recall. Let's first try a common pattern, alphabetical order: beef, carrots, cheese, cherries, etc. This isn't the most useful in this case. Now, let's try organizing the foods as if they were in a menu. You can see on the right side of your screen categories such as lunch and dinner. Categorizing the food by familiar areas like lunch and dinner gives it more meaning and makes it easier to recall. Example: lunch, a salad including lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, olives, carrots, spinach, broccoli, onions, turkey, and ham. Dinner, a fruit salad with plums, strawberries, mangoes, grapes, and cherries, and choices of duck, chicken, beef, fish, or pork with potatoes. Organizing the foods like this makes the long list much easier to remember. It still takes time and effort, but both are decreased by clustering. Here are some common patterns in textbooks that will help you to navigate them more efficiently. 90% of the time, the first sentence of a paragraph is the main idea. Main ideas are almost always followed by significant details that serve to clarify or support the main idea. Examples make up almost half of textbook material and often follow the supporting details. It is often not necessary to read an entire textbook chapter to understand the concepts and ideas. The examples are there to help your understanding, but if you already understood the main idea, you can skim over or even skip the examples. This will make you a faster and more efficient textbook reader. When learning something new, putting the information into your own words is a powerful tool for recalling the information. Dunlosky and his colleagues investigated 10 different learning strategies. The one consistent finding was that anything that required learners to put things into their own words resulted in better learning. Let's take the example of the word exploitation. The dictionary definition is the act of selfishly taking advantage of someone or a group of people in order to profit from them or otherwise benefit oneself. The definition in one's own words might be benefiting by unfairly taking advantage of someone else. The second definition, written in one's own words, is 8 words as compared to the 24 words from the dictionary example. The shorter version is simpler and easier to remember. Another common pattern is statistical learning. Statistical learning refers to an unconscious cognitive process in which repeated patterns, or regularities, are extracted from the sensory environment. This means that you take in information and unconsciously observe the patterns. These are used to predict future events and feed into many other cognitive processes. Your unconscious brain is making predictions and choices on your behalf all the time. Here is an overview of the topics covered in this video. The brain is a pattern-seeking device, and using familiar patterns makes learning easier. Some common patterns covered in this video include similarity and difference, comparison and contrast, cause and effect, in your own words, clustering, patterns in textbooks, and statistical learning. Thank you for listening. We hope you found this information helpful. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. For additional details regarding the services we offer, please explore our website at www.learnercenteredtutoring.com. You can reach us via email at admin@learnercenteredtutoring.com or by phone at 231-466-0715. Book your complimentary consultation today.